today, I stand here before you today, honored and humbled to accept the endorsement of the NYC African Council. And it's a moment like this that really fills my heart with pride, not only as an African woman, but as a resident of this very vibrant community that I call home. Just a little bit about myself.
Welcome to Sekou Style. This is your man Sekou Kessler. You already know. Okay, today we're gonna be watching and talking about New York City African Council endorsement of attorney Lola Waterman for civil court judgmentship in Brooklyn, New York. So, without further ado, I want for you to take this moment and listen to some of the stuff that happened there. Watch it, see, hopefully you'll be inspired.
You see my name on the ballot, not in the June election, but in the November general election. So please look out for me. Check me out on my website, it's lolawaterman.com. And please do come out in November to vote. Right? It's important that we get people of color on the bench, diversify the bench, and I promise that with my qualifications, my empathy, and commitment to community, that I will be a judge that looks out not just for all Brooklynites, but for all New Yorkers. So thank you again for being here, and God bless. So first, I want to stand here before you today. I stand here before you today, honored and humbled, to accept the endorsement of the NYC African Council. And it's a moment like this that really fills my heart with pride, not only as an African woman, but as a resident of this very vibrant community that I call home. Just a little bit about myself. I like to focus on a specific date, and that date is February 29th of 1996. That was the day that my mother came home and told me that I lost my father. I lost my father to gun violence at a tender age of 17. And I recall my mom coming home. That was the day that my mom became a single mother. I recall the struggles and the challenges that my mom faced to raise her 4 kids. And for me, seeing my mom work her way up in the corporate world, from being a simple journalist all the way to the general manager of a broadcasting corporation, an industry that was dominated by males. But in spite of the challenges, in spite of everything that was set up against her, she worked her way up with perseverance and resilience, and that's a moral, and values that she has instilled in me that I'm hoping that with this journey I can instill in my daughters as well. So thank you, Mom, for being there. Thank you for being that example to me and showing me that giving up is not an option. So as an African woman and a first-generation American, I carry the weight of history and the stories of my ancestors who fought tirelessly for freedom and injustice. I'm a product of their sacrifices, and it is my duty to honor their legacy by continuing the fight for a more just society. I am committed to bringing a fresh perspective to the bench, a perspective that embraces the value of inclusivity, diversity, and cultural understanding. I firmly believe that a judge should reflect the community that they serve, and I'm proud to be a representative of the African diaspora, bringing my unique experiences and insights to the courtroom. I recognize the challenges that many face in navigating the legal system, especially those for marginalized communities. I pledge to be a judge who listens, who understands, and seeks to address the systemic issues that perpetuate inequality and injustice. Through community outreach programs, education initiatives, and improved access to legal resources, I will work tirelessly to bridge the gap between the law and the people it is meant to protect. Thank you to the NYC Council for believing in me and my ability to serve as civil court judge. I am truly grateful for your support, and I'm excited about the journey ahead. Let us continue to work hand in hand as we shape the future of our community, standing on the shoulders of our ancestors and paving the way for generations to come. Thank you again for being here. Thank you again for your support, NYC African Council, and I look forward to greater works ahead of us. Thank you.
Just to close, but let's come out and support this campaign and see it to success. Yes, the media.
Round your race because November give us enough space to be able to do some work. So, are you having a metrics of potential impact of the African vote in Brooklyn? Have you had any?
Do I have any metrics as to the African population?
You don't have a metric. Is that can you actually palpably assess what could be anticipated as being the African vote?
Right. And this is one of my reasons, and one of the things that we talked about when I first approached the African Council, right? So there are Africans in the district that I'm running in. The question is how to access them. And I hope that with the partnership of African Council, with myself, that we can actually get through to the African constituents in that district. So that is what we have planned, and I'm sure we'll be coming up with strategies to make sure that we're really hitting on those constituents. Yes.
Well, we're very proud of your trajectory.
Thank you.
You're ready for this thing.
Thank
it looks like it. So, how would you tell us that your past have prepared you for this position?
That the what?
How did your past prepare
My
you?
my past?
Yes.
Okay, so my
I'm sorry, I had a
experiences.
root canal
It's
this
okay.
morning,
It's
so-
all right. It's all right. So you mean my experience, my qualifications?
Yes.
Absolutely, great question. So I've been an attorney for 15 years now. I work in this courthouse behind us. I'm a law clerk. I've been a law clerk there for 6 years. I work for a Supreme Court justice. And part of what a law clerk does, you are the right hand of the judge. You basically observe a judge making decisions every day. You see how their decisions impact the community, because I live in the community. And for me, that was one of the reasons why I decided to go into running for judgeship. I understand the importance of decisions that courts make, that judges make, and how it can either negatively or positively impact people. And I believe that with my qualifications that I wanted to come and serve the people of Brooklyn that way. So in addition to be a law clerk where I get to do legal research, I get to write decisions for the court, I get to interact with parties, both those that are represented by attorneys and pro se litigants. These are litigants that come in the courthouse that don't have representation. My job is to talk to them, to try them to resolve their differences before they go in front of a judge. And so I have the hands-on experience. I know how a courtroom works because I'm the one that operates the courtroom on behalf of my judge, making sure the cases are passing through. Before I came into the court system 6 years ago, I was in private practice. My office was right across the street on the other side of the camera, and I had an office here representing and advocating for immigrants. I did immigration work and represented them in immigration court. I also did a lot of estate planning work. It was important for me that people get their Medicaid planning, making sure people got a Medicaid to pay for home care. My big thing with while I was in private practice was to represent those that come from marginalized communities and those that really needed, whether it was families or seniors or immigrants, getting their day in court. As part of that, I've also served in a plethora of volunteer positions. I've been guardian ad litem in housing court, advocating for tenants in housing court to keep their homes. I've been a pro bono attorney in the court right across the street here, representing people in matrimonial matters. I've represented estates in surrogate court, trying to find family members so that they can inherit from their estates. And so for me, it's a really big thing to represent people in the courts throughout Brooklyn. I've had an opportunity to represent people not just in state court, but also federal court, which is right down the block from us. You know, it was important for me that people know their rights, and part of that, I also, as a pastor's wife, you know, one of the big things that I've done is community service. Community service is huge to me. And so I do a lot of know your rights information sessions, educating people about their rights so that when they showed up in that courtroom, that they knew their rights and can advocate for themselves. So that's the experience that I'll be taking to the bench with me. And I believe that the people of Brooklyn see that in me, and I know that it will be beneficial on the bench. That's a long answer to your
So
question.
thank you very much.
All relevant, all
All
relevant.
relevant, yes.
Team Lola! Team Lola! Team Lola! Team Lola! I say Lola, you say Waterman. Lola! Waterman! Lola! Waterman! I say Waterman, you say Lola. Waterman! Lola! Waterman! Lola!
And I have my hype man behind me. And he's not getting paid for this, by the way. That's it? Okay, thank you.
I firmly believe that Miss Lola Waterman should serve as an example to all the African diaspora, and especially the first generation Africans, women or girls who are growing up in New York or wherever you are in the United States, to believe in yourself that it is possible to break through, and it is possible to, achieve the highest of highest high. And we need to really, do better, and we can do better. And she should serve as an example to all the women out there, all the girls. That's why I actually took my daughter to this rally, and I believe that it is important that women start seeing this, young girls start seeing this, that it's possible. Africans who are coming in right now in the United States, African who were born here, that you know that you could be part of the change. You could be part of the change that could, it means a lot to your continent, that could mean a lot to your people in the diaspora. And this is the kind of change that Africans should be striving to achieve. So thank you all for, watching, and hopefully you could go out there and support her. I believe that in the website is already in the video, but if anything, make a comment. I could share the website with you again. Go make some donations, support the lady, and hopefully, she gets the position so we get more strong African women in position to be able to impact our community in a very positive way. Thank you all.